G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this will be my Knackers Yard, this will be the SuperDream, this will be a bit of a confession session. First of all, there's some continuity errors that I'm sure you'll pick up on. I am, first confession, I'm filming this on a Sunday. I did try doing this section on Saturday in the car on the way out to a roundabout on the A1. Don't worry, I'm not branching out into Tinder or Grindr from YouTube. I'll go into why in a second. The audio was absolutely horrendous, so I'm kind of redoing the first bit of my what would normally be a Saturday upload. Come on, focus, you bitch. And I thought while I'm redoing it, I might as well just do some stuff as well. So I'm going to strip the exhaust off this while I'm going. I've remembered my microphone, my radio mic, so you should be able to hear me throughout. Confession the next. I have added, the observant may have noticed an extra section in my intro. I put a disclaimer on. There's a reason I put a disclaimer on, and it was down to unseizing this engine and some of the comments. A bit nasty, although that looks new or repainted. It's quite pitted, so I think it's just been, it's been powder coated. Weird. Yeah, so it was comments from you guys and comments from a couple of you guys specifically, and there's a lot of people pointing out the fact that I'd cocked up. And thank you, because I need that, because I am not a mechanic. It's got nothing to do with my day job. I'm just a tit in the shed, and if I wasn't filming this, I'd still be doing it. And the reason I film it is not just for some sort of company, because I like the solitude of my garage, but it's for help. I don't know what I'm doing a lot of the time, and a lot of the time the stuff that I'm doing, it's the first time that I've done it, so it's not there as how-tos. I very, very rarely do how-tos, because as I say, a lot of the time I don't know what I'm doing myself. So that's one off. So yeah, so I don't do how to. In fact, it was Ryan from Ryan's Garage that was the principal architect behind it, when because he's done one of these. He's done a SuperDream, and he's still playing with it several years later. There's different sized bolts on each side. That's never a good sign. Yeah, when he said, I'm sure with your, words to the effect of, I'm sure with your experience, you'll get that going in no time. And it kind of made me thinking, I haven't really got any experience. I bill myself as a tit in the shed. That's exactly what I am. But I've got a feeling that as the channel's grown over time, and I swear, you know, it's time rather than ability. I've been doing this for a little while now. I might have set a false narrative accidentally. There's nothing intentional about it. That I know what I'm doing. I don't. Most of the stuff I do with bikes is the first time. I'm just titting around in a shed. I'm not producing how-to videos, but if other people learn from my mistakes, then I think it's worthwhile doing. Frankly, the mistake that I made on this one was turning it over all wrong. Unseizing it without taking the rocker top off. So what I should have done, focus is crap, is take the rocker top off while I was trying to unseize it to make sure that the valves were moving, and the cam chain. Now why didn't I? Because I didn't know any better, frankly, and I'm happy to admit that. Also, I was convinced that it was rust, and I did stick a boroscope. I didn't use the footage because it wasn't very good. Need that 14 again, 12 again. Yeah, so I was convinced that it was just rust in there now. I have, with the power of hindsight, corrected that, and the next upload you'll see me taking the top off and having a look inside. Now, because I'm re-recording this, because the audio was crap, you will see me do that, and it's fine. I haven't goosed it. Now, that's not me saying Yabu sucks to you, mostly because I'm not age 12. I got lucky. So it's nice to be lucky, but I really shouldn't, and nobody should, rely on luck. So for the next time I unseason an engine, I will take the rocker top off, and thank you for pointing it out in majority fashions in a nice way. Oh, you bitch, that's not playing. Right, I'll come back to you. Yeah, so no idea how this is all attached, by the way. As ever, I'm feeling my way through. Let's go for the front bolts. Yeah, so I've stuck on a disclaimer at the front to say I do not know what I'm doing. Not a legally binding, I am not responsible for any damage you do to your motorcycle type thing. I'm not taking it that seriously, but just to highlight the fact that please don't get swept away into thinking that I have a fucking clue what I'm doing, because I don't. So that's the one. I am feeling my way through projects. This isn't meant as a how-to. It's just you joining me while I piss around with bikes. So that's confession 1. Confession 2, more relevant, and I'm doing this quicker. Well, bugger me, that was simple. I was expecting that to be tricky. Confession 2, I have bought bikes without a V5 before, and applied, sorry, for those non-UK, I suppose it's as close as we get to a title, although cunningly, where's the, I can give you an example of a V5, and I will fold it back so I'm not throwing away I'm not displaying my address, because that's a bad idea on the internet. As a V5, it's like origami. So V5, this one's for Mac, the 750 that's now gone, so I now have some space. But that's the bit that I wanted to do. This document is not proof of ownership. It shows who's responsible for registering and taxing the vehicle. So you don't really own anything that says it's yours. So when you get a bike with a V5, you obviously send it off to get it registered to you, but it's not proof of ownership. Now, I didn't get one with this. Now, that's not normally a problem. On this one, I didn't get a number plate either, which is a problem. Not too much of a drama, because what you can do is get the V5 from the VIN number, the vehicle identification number. Now, you and I can't do it because it's a trade only thing, and it's basically to stop people from just applying for V5s for any stolen vehicle, I suppose. It has to be done through trade. Now, it strikes me as slightly dodgy, so I won't say who I did it through, but they're easy to find on the internet or on Facebook if you need to use it. But they're very good. Cost you £5 or £10 or something like that. But importantly, if they don't find the records, they won't charge you for it. So I went to them and said, have you got this frame number? And it wasn't showing, which means one of two things to me. It either means it was registered before the database, which is entirely possible. Oh, it's a bit stuck there. A bit of leverage. Plastic rather than metal if you've got anything. A little bits of movement there. Where's my mallet? Yeah, so, but what it did mean was, despite the fact I've got matching engine numbers and frame numbers, it doesn't exist in the system now. The most likely option behind this, because there were popular imports, is the fact that it was imported at some point and never done properly. Yeah, so I started to look through the process of that, and it is both time consuming and expensive. So it means I'll have to import it, which means I have to get some documentation from Honda proving the age, etc, etc, etc. Now all of that is takes time and money. So from what I could see, I was looking at 55 quid for the form 55/5. God, I'm such a nerd. Now I just read up on what I needed to do. So that was 55. New V5 was 25 to 30 quid if I remember correctly. All the costs were mounting up. So, sorry, this is probably not doing the audio any good. So I did what every modern bike tinkerer does. Found a Facebook group, jumped on it, asked if anybody had a frame, and found one within about 20 minutes. A lovely guy called Dennis, who I've now met. Darren. I'm going to get his name wrong, that's going to be embarrassing. I am horrendous with names. Darren, beg your pardon, Darren. Who lived up Peterborough way. We met halfway yesterday and grabbed this frame. Right, and there we go. That's me in a garage in Sandy, just outside of Peterborough. Well, on the way to Peterborough. Happy with that. Airbox complete. Rubbers that are actually rubber. Sweet. And all the paperwork done with a really lovely guy called Darren. Sorted. Right, let's go. Right, and we're back. Let's do a bit of side-by-side comparison, really. Obviously, this is the one with the bike. It's pretty rusted and cracked. The intention there was always to do something with, probably get it stripped and powder coated. My replacement, which is, I think, a year younger, so that's 82, that's 81, or so I was told. More of that. In a lot better nick. The centre stand is a bit knacked, which I'm quite happy with, because theoretically I could just take that off and send that to get powder coated, or actually it's small enough I could do something myself, probably. I don't know. Yeah, so much better. So, you know, even looking at the rear in a direct comparison to what I have, it is the same. I've got the airbox in it as well, which is a massive Billy bonus for one simple reason. Rubbers that are actually still made of rubber, as opposed to rubbers that have really plasticised really quite nastily. So, yeah, an hour out of my life, £100 lighter, in a better condition, I think. I think you can all see/agree. The reason I bring age in, I've literally just had a reply sort of since I've got home from Honda on trying to get any information they've got on the bike. The only thing they can give me is an age confirmation certificate, which I'd have to pay £30 for, and will take 2 to 6 weeks. Adding that to the whole registration free, import fees, etc, etc, that's considerably cheaper. Now I know I'm not going to end up with a matching frame and engine number. That's a shame, but I can live with that if I end up with a better bike. I think I'm not after I'm not after perfect. I never have been. I just want to get this thing back on the road. That'll do me for this one. A bit more digging into the bike on the next one, I think. Cheers all. I'll catch you later. Ta-da.